Hello and welcome to Bookworms International. We're your hosts, Cinda
and Minda, and today we'll be talking about the international best-selling nonfiction book, The World Without Us by Alan Weisman.
So, what is The World Without Us about?
Well, it explains what would happen if there was a sudden disappearance of the human race.
So it explains what would fall with us and what would stay?
Exactly! And just out of curiosity, what would be the first to fall?
New York. Within 2 days after humans disappear, New York's subway system will flood. Every day, 13 million gallons of water are kept at bay by subway crews and pumps. Without humans, the subway would quickly flood, and New York would have its own personal underground lake.
So, what about the rest of society?
Within days, plants would begin to invade our homes, as well as squirrels, raccoons, and lizards. Then it's just a matter of how sturdily built the house was. What would we leave behind, though?
Many toxic chemicals will still remain for at least 7 million years, although many will be buried. Bronze sculptures will still be recognizable 10 million years into the future. Even the Statue of Liberty may still be recognizable far into the future. However, by that time, it will probably have fallen into the waters and have a shell of barnacles. Radioactive materials, like uranium, will still be around 4.5 billion years from now, although by then half of it will have decayed. By 5 billion years, everything will be burnt up as the sun expands. However, traces of radio waves from humans will still be around.
But by then we probably would have died off anyways, whether we liked it or not.
Now that we've talked about structures, what about the animals? What would happen to them when we're gone?
Like you'd expect, the majority of animals will have a population boom once we're gone. Like birds, for example. Right now, billions of birds die each year from flying into communication towers, windows, and landing on live wires. Just a year after humans are gone, bird populations will increase by 1 billion. And just 100 years after we're gone, elephant populations will return to what they once were before the demand for ivory. And like the hunt for ivory in elephants, the same thing will happen to other endangered animals that are hunted for pelts, fins, and other such fashionable items. Aquatic animals, especially sharks, will make a long-awaited comeback and replenish the seas. Most animals will benefit from our disappearance.
But not everyone will be better off without us. Within a year of our disappearance, head and body lice will go extinct. Domestic animals won't last very long either. And cockroaches, those gross little pests that are supposed to outlast us during a nuclear explosion, will also die in any area that requires heating during the winter.
Although this outcome isn't guaranteed. Like any good story, there's always a chance for a twist. I mean, human beings have survived this long. What sort of advantage did we have? Our ancestors may have been comparatively bright, but we certainly weren't the strongest.
In the book, Alan Weisman also talks a lot about our past and how we can learn from it. Although we weren't around to see it, we have something of an idea of how our ancestors evolved. When they first migrated to North America, it was a far different place than what it is today. 13,000-pound sloths, mammoths, saber-toothed tigers, and leptopterns were all common species of megafauna. However, within just 1,000 years, at least 70 species were killed off, and the most likely theory is that we're responsible.
And in the 1800s, passenger pigeons, a larger version of the pigeons we know today, were one of the most common birds in the world. However, by the year 1914, the last of the passenger pigeons died in captivity. Human beings had hunted them to extinction.
We're running out of time, folks, so let's finish off by talking about why Alan Weisman wrote the book. In an interview found online, Weisman said that his inspiration came from wanting to tell people, quote, "the impacts of unbridled human activity on the rest of nature and on our own fate," end quote.
Our actions now will have an impact past the end of the world. And we need to be aware of what we do and whether that impact is positive or negative.
In the words of Alan Weisman, "Without us, the earth will abide and endure. Without her, however, we could not be."
Well, that's all the time we have for today, folks. Thanks for watching, and join us next week when we discuss Twilight by Stephanie Meyer.
And Minda, today we'll
From our disappearance.
but there are some that
Within days, plants would begin to invade our homes, as well as Within days, plants would.
That's all the time.
That was easy. Got it! Okay, good. I think that was the hardest one. So.